Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's straight out of Boston, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode 12 of my MyGM here in NBA 2K14 with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and as you can see, our owner is not too happy with us despite our hot start of 12-5. We have not exactly obeyed his orders. I decided this MyGM I was kind of run the team the way I wanted it to and not let the owner influence me too much. So far, it hasn't really affected our job, although obviously our job security is a little thin right now, but that press conference helped. Got our trust up plus 15, which was good because it was probably below 15, so it's probably more than doubled now. So that is pretty good. Anyway, we're going up against the Detroit Pistons this episode. We are red hot right now, 12-4. We are just clicking on all cylinders right now with Horford and Larry Sanders back. So our full starting lineup is healthy right now, and we're just running right through the league, and it's really exciting. Obviously we want to take baby steps and just try to make the playoffs and then sort of win a series and sort of go from there. But if things keep up right now, we'll see who can stop us. I mean, obviously it's early, obviously it's a small sample size, but there's just many encouraging signs so far through the first 17 games. But anyway, like I said, going up against the Detroit Pistons here, the Josh Smith-less Detroit Pistons. He is injured and out for this game. So you'll get to see Greg Monroe and Drummond play as the only two big men, and you'll get to see a natural small forward play there. Anyway, here is Greg Monroe in the post. Nice little work right there on Larry Sanders. Now, this is a battle of two sets of twin towers here. Really, four guys who can play center in Monroe, Drummond, Horford, and Larry Sanders. Obviously, Monroe probably fits a little bit better as a power forward, and I think you could say the same thing for Horford, although he's spent a majority of his career at center. But there's a nice little tip slam right there, or not a tip slam, a putback from Horford. But Brandon Jennings driving in the lane, he gets the little floater to go, so the Pistons right now are up 14-9. Monroe on the offensive boards misses the putback, but gets his own rebound. And that's something we've always struggled with, and that's one of the reasons why I did want to go back to a two bigs type of sort of strategy this year, is offensive rebounding. We've been killed by the offensive boards last season, or we were killed by the offensive boards last year, and that was one of my goals this year with getting Horford to go along with Sanders, was to sort of eliminate that main need. I didn't feel the small ball helped us out too much on offense, and it was killing us on defense and on rebounding, so on the boards. So it was a pretty logical choice, and that's one thing we're gonna try to keep an eye out for now with both of our big men healthy. But nice little move by Zach LaVine, who obviously I botched his name pretty bad in the last episode. I kept calling him Levine. I don't watch a ton of college basketball. I watch a decent amount, but I don't think I watched a full UCLA game this year or anything like that. So, and even if I did, I listen to like basketball podcasts sometimes. I just don't pay attention too closely to how guys are pronouncing certain guys' names or whatever. So I apologize. It's Zach LaVine. I got it now. But anyway, Gorgie Jang with the putback right there. That ties the game up at 23, and that's going to be the score heading into the second quarter. At the end of one, we are tied at 23 apiece. So after the Pistons pretty much controlled it for most of the first quarter, we made a bit of a run at the end and got it tied up. So now Patty Mills getting into the lane. Nice little left-handed layup. Charlie Villanueva is not going to do anything in the form of rim protection, so I don't have to worry about him blocking that shot. So a 2-point lead for the Timberwolves, but the Pistons come right back, and that's going to be actually an and-one foul after they call a goaltend on Channing Frye, which I don't know if I necessarily agreed with. You can take a look at the replay here. I think he might have hit it. Yeah, I guess he hit it after Siva threw it off the glass, so it sort of made sense. But here we go, Channing Frye quick out to Chase Budinger. That's going to be no good, but a nice offensive rebound again by Al Horford, putting it up and in, and we retake a 1-point lead. Now it's a 3-point game. LaVine to Kawhi Leonard, who's being iced out right now on KCP, but Sanders with inside position. He also had Luigi Datome on him right there, so I knew that was going to be a match I want to take advantage of. Here's some nice in and out ball movement right now. LaVine ends up collecting the loose ball from Exum, gets a little screen, gives it to Exum for the three, and that's just good floor spacing right there all around that really set up that play and executed it. So 38-30, Jennings with the ball now on the fast break. He's very good in the fast break. He gets the left-handed finger roll to go for a 2-point bucket right there. Now it's 38-32. Jennings, sweet dump pass to Andre Drummond after Sanders came over on the help. That was an easy dump pass for Jennings. Now Levine, I keep calling him Levine, gives it to Kawhi Leonard for the three-pointer, and now it's going to be 43-38 now. Here we go, up by 5. Levine just doing what he does best. Derrick Rose-esque right there, sprinting up and down the court and making something out of just a little half-court inbound there. Now Jonas Repko giving it down low, a nice bounce pass to Drummond, and Drummond showing some touch around the rim. Now a little ball fake from Drummond. He's going to give it down low to Jennings. Jennings finds some space and somehow gets that right-handed hook shot to go. Now Chauncey Billups, yes, still Chauncey Billups in the league here in 2016. Surprisingly enough, color me shocked. shocked on that one and think he's pretty washed up at this point. But anyway, it's a 50-49 game here at the end of the second quarter. Pistons with a 1-point lead. Pretty even quarter right there. Pretty even so far throughout this entire game. No team has really been able to open up any type of gap. Like I said, the Pistons controlled it a little bit there in the first quarter, but I think you could say the same for us in that second quarter. We held a 4 to 5 point lead for a majority of it. But Jennings on the other end coming back with a 2-point layup right there. So 52-250 and make it a 2-point game. XM dishes it to Levine in the corner for 3, and that's just a great driving dish. I just haven't watched basketball in a while, man. Forgetting all my terms and stuff, but it was just a nice driving kick right there from XM to Levine. Now here we go. XM catches his man jumping. Sweet backdoor cut right there from Kawhi Leonard. He realized that his man came over and helped. Immediately made backdoor cut. Great find. And an easy 2 points right there for the finals MVP. Now Andre Drummond. Check out Drummond just imposing his physical will right there. Dunking all over Al Horford. That is just what Drummond can do. He is so big and strong as well as athletic. It's a deadly combination down low. Al Horford just found that out the hard way. Here's Levine. Probably should have just been driving to the rim there, but he creates some space on his own with Jonas Jerebko on him. And that's an easy 2-point bucket. Now Mills dishes it down low to Kawhi Leonard. Leonard with Jerebko on him. Figured I could try to take advantage of a mismatch there, but luckily Jang is there on the offensive rebound. So it's 67-all. Sweet pass on low to KCP, who dishes it off to Monroe. And Monroe with the finesse finish right there. So it's a 2-point lead for the Pistons. Now here is Peyton Siva with the ball. Siva down low to Billups in the post. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Chauncey Billups bodying up Kawhi Leonard in 2016. 73-69 is the score. Levine going into the hoop. Finger roll layup right there off the glass, right hand. And he is having himself a nice game. That is one thing I love about Levine and XM. Both are so good around the rim in terms of finishing and stuff like that. But Monroe with the 2 points there, and it's a 4-point lead. It was a 6-point lead. We cut it down to 4, and now Levine coming down to Chase Budinger for the 3. And Budinger knocks it down, a 5-0 run here, a little 5-0 run. We cut it down to a 1-point game. Now Pistons open it back up to 2. Patty Mills, step back jumper is good, but that was way late. He got it off probably a half second after the clock expired, so no need to review that one. The score will remain 81-72, but Elfrid Payton here with the ball. Dishes it to Budinger in the corner, and Chase Budinger heating up here in the second half. It's going to be another 3-pointer. We got a 1-point lead, now a 3-point lead. Jennings, alley-oop to Luigi Datome for the 2-pointer right there. Now Elfrid Payton for 3. He gets it to go. Great find by XM. Payton just lurking on the 3-point line. And that's an easy 3 points. So here we go. Sanders with the ball up to Budinger. Budinger layup and 1. Chase Budinger and Fuego. And here we go. Now that's going to be a steal. XM. He's all alone right now. He's going to take it himself and slam it down. And we go up by 9. Now here we go. Levine with the rebound. He's going to take it himself on the break. This is it to Budinger. And Chase Budinger again. All but 2 of his points have come in the second half. He gets an offensive rebound, gives himself space, and Chase Budinger red hot in the fourth quarter. We're up by 13. Here he comes again. He's just going to body up to Tommy right here with the up and under. Tommy falls over. An easy layup for Budinger again with another bucket. Now trying to play some defense. Ends up, or I guess it wasn't really his fault there, but Drummond gets his own offensive rebound. So 8-point game. Pistons trying to mount a bit of a comeback here. Brandon Jennings for 3, gets it to go, and the lead is down to 5, so a 10-2 run here by the Pistons, and they will not quit yet. 6-point game. Here is Brandon Jennings. Just takes a pull-up 3 off the dribble right there. No one expecting that one, and that's going to be that's going to cut the lead down to 3. So here we go. We go to Dante Exum. Exum into the lane, slams it down one hand, and we go back up by 5. So next possession for the Pistons. KCP in the corner, and Caldwell Pope for 3. The lead's down to 2. So they would foul us. We'd make both free throws. Here come the Pistons again. Again, Caldwell Pope. And that is just too easy for a guy who excels at 3-point shooting. So the lead's down to 1. Again, we make both free throws, but the Pistons are 3-point away from tying it. Jennings long 2, no good. This time we collect the offensive rebound. And now Levine's all by himself. And he will slam it down with the reverse. A ball-see ball right there. And that will pretty much seal things on this game as we go back up by 5 with under 15 seconds to play. And we would end up winning by the same score, 107-102. So a big win for the Pistons. I think that, or a big win for the Timberwolves. I believe that's our, it's only our second gameplay I've shown this year, but it is the first win. First one in a while. We lost a couple at the end of last year, so good little confidence builder. We win a game with this new team, and hopefully we can build off of this and move forward into, the second quarter of the season or so. We're about a quarter of the way through an 82-game set. This would be game number 18, so almost there. But anyway, you can see we shot 50%. We shot 53%. We still shot 11 less times than them, but I think part of that was we went to the line more. We also made a bunch of threes, which helped out the 3-point. We really had the 3-point shot going this game. So anyway, you can see Levine leading the way with 27 points. Other than that, no one else was too spectacular except Budinger, who had all but 2 of his points in the second half. And most of those came in the fourth quarter. So anyway, we held Monroe to 20 points on 21 shots. Jennings took 26 shots. We held Caldwell Pope down except for those couple late threes. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. I'm out. Peace.